Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to Abnormal Voyages. My name is David, and today we find ourselves in Metropolis, Illinois. Now, though Superman was created in Ohio, as we've covered before, this has been his adopted hometown ever since 1972. So this year, they are celebrating the 50th anniversary, and we figured what better time to come check out one of the world's most famous superheroes. We are here at the Super Museum to learn all we can about the Man of Steel. Tag along.
We're going to a place that you've never heard of before. It's Abnormal Voyages. You're gonna learn something new. We're gonna open new doors. It's Abnormal Voyages.
When you arrive at the Super Museum, you immediately know that you are in the right place. The outside is completely decorated, all in honor of Superman. But as impressive as the outside looks, it gets even better when you head inside. Metropolis is thrilled with its connection to such a famous character, and it's evident in these custom license plates that people have been buying for decades. On top of that, you can see on display several different newspaper articles that have been written about the Super Museum, which has been here since 1993. The collection here is the world's largest Superman collection and is worth over $2.5 billion. That's right, billion with a B. You can even catch a glimpse at one of the keys to the city, which is, very appropriately, Superman themed. This one-of-a-kind collection is truly worthy of one of America's greatest heroes. Let's dig in and see what super things we can find today. Superman has the distinction of pretty much being considered the first superhero. He debuted in Action Comics #1 in 1938, and the world was never the same. Though he's recognized in every single country and considered very all-American, Superman is actually from a completely different planet called Krypton. Unfortunately, disaster fell on Krypton and the entire planet was destroyed. Right before that happened, however, Superman's parents were able to send their baby boy out into space, where eventually he crash-landed on Earth, specifically in rural Kansas. He was found by Jonathan and Martha Kent, who took him in and raised him as their own son. They named the baby Clark Kent, and after growing up in Smallville, Kansas, he would eventually move out to Metropolis, and soon become the hero that we all know today as Superman. No matter who your favorite superhero may be today, all of them owe at least a small debt to this man from Krypton. Without him, we may not have any superheroes at all. Now, something that I really appreciated about this museum is that it wasn't just a bunch of small figures and such inside glass cases. They weren't afraid to bring in the big video games, the posters, giant figures, and have it all out here looking like a true collection and something with a little more character than your typical museum displays. And speaking of other superheroes, they have a few cameo appearances by Superman's team, the Justice League. Even someone as powerful as Superman needed friends. But at times, even super friends weren't enough to keep you out of danger.
Many fans will remember the stirring storyline, The Death of Superman, where our hero was killed at the hands of Doomsday. They have a tribute to that scene here with Doomsday himself and sad relics of what remains of Superman.
Fortunately, this was not the true end of Superman, as he did return, just like most heroes that are killed off in comics. But when it happened, it was very sad indeed. Here's a little memorial of that moment. You have Superman's cape there from the fallen hero, and his tombstone, where it says, "Here lies Earth's greatest hero." Though in true Superman fashion, he did die sacrificing himself to defeat Doomsday, and thus saving the entire planet once again. It comes as no surprise that such a powerful and popular character couldn't be contained to just comic books. Superman made the jump to TV and movie screens, with the most recent solo movie being Man of Steel. But to trace the entire filmography of Superman, we have to go much further back than that. Here on display, you can find the super suit for Kirk Alyn, who was the very first actor to portray Superman in live action in 1948. And while he was the first, there's actually been 8 different live-action Superman actors so far. One such example is Brandon Routh, who played Superman in the 2006 Superman Returns, which tried to bring Superman more into the modern era. Though most recently, Superman has been portrayed by Henry Cavill to much acclaim, probably the most well-known Superman was the one played by Christopher Reeves. Reeves played the iconic Son of Krypton for Superman, Superman 2, Superman 3, and Superman 4. These movies went a long way to cement in the general public's mind the wholesome American values that Superman stood for. Anyone who happens to be a fan of Christopher Reeves, and I mean, who isn't, will be very happy to find tons of props, costumes, and artifacts here at the Super Museum, including this gorgeous Superman cape and a full Superman suit that was used in filming. And Superman isn't the only character with some awesome memorabilia from these movies. You can also find stuff belonging to Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen, or, if you prefer the villainous side, there are some artifacts that were used on screen by Lex Luthor and Zod himself. I know superhero movies are a luxury that we all get to enjoy pretty frequently these days, but back when these first Superman movies came out, they were a little bit of an oddity. So, nobody was really sure how they were going to do, if the box office was going to reflect that this is what the public wanted. Luckily, the popularity of these movies took off through the sky just like Superman himself, and spawned not only an entire movie genre of superhero movies, but plenty of memorabilia and merchandise. Plus, it left things very open for spin-offs.
We've seen a little bit of the Justice League highlighted here, but just as popular is Superman's famous cousin, Supergirl.
Supergirl first hit the scene in Action Comics 252, which came out in May of 1959. Though not every version of the character has always been related to Superman, she premiered as Superman's cousin, and many of the following versions have followed that same storyline. Supergirl found a very supportive audience pretty quickly, and in 1984 she even got her own movie starring Helen Slater as Supergirl. Since then, only 2 other actresses have ever portrayed Supergirl in live action, but fans are eagerly awaiting her reappearance in the new DC Cinematic Universe. She's a beloved character who has certainly earned her place in the Superman mythos.
The Superman legacy has spawned several different iterations of the same story, many of them in TV shows. My personal favorite has always been Smallville, so I was very excited to see they have an entire case here filled with different props, costume pieces, and scripts from the beloved show.
Smallville had a very innovative take on the Superman story, and instead of focusing on him being the hero that goes out and saves the world, it focused on his time as a teenager growing up in Smallville. This was a younger Clark Kent who was just coming into his powers and struggling with the responsibility that all of that meant. And while they did have a healthy dose of your typical high school teenage drama, there was also a slew of villains and threats that still cropped up and were beaten back by Superman. Though he wasn't Superman yet, he was just Clark Kent, or Kal-El, which was his Kryptonian name. Audiences loved this fresh, new take on the Superman legend, and rewarded it with 10 full seasons. But this was hardly the first time that Superman had his own television show. Before Smallville, we had Lois and Clark. This show began in 1993 and ran for 4 seasons. Unlike the teenage years of Smallville, Lois and Clark focused on Clark after he was already grown up and with Lois Lane, but put more of a spotlight on the adult factors of life and his romantic relationship. And of course, we can't leave out George Reeves, who played Superman in The Adventures of Superman, which premiered in 1952. This show was a huge hit for its day, and it seems people with the last name Reeves are just born to play Superman. The show ran for 6 seasons and actually started out with its first 2 seasons in black and white and then switched to full Technicolor. It's incredible that this collection has such a wide array of things, and yet at their heart, it is all about truth, justice, and the American way.
And we couldn't leave without visiting the big man himself. Well, my name is David, and this has been Abnormal Voyages. Thanks for tagging along. We'll see you next time.